Coming up in this episode, we beam out some scientists, put out some fires, and have some rocks thrown at us. Hello, I am the Black Knight, and welcome to episode 4 of our Star Trek Online Let's Play and Review series. So we are picking up exactly where we left off in the last episode, and we should be getting a pop-up for our next story mission any second.
Starfleet has lost contact with the Federation science station in the Kasei system, because all communications from Kasei 2 must be boosted by a satellite that compensates for Metreon isotopes prevalent in the system. It may be that the communications array is in need of repair. Please make the necessary repairs to the communications array and re-establish contact with the science station.
Okay, so we have our next mission, which is Researcher Rescue. Just going through the mission rewards. In fact, we actually get to choose one of the items at the end of this mission, but it's a first of what will be many mission rewards which we will be able to pick over the course of the missions that we do. I did forget to put this tactical kit module, Rally Cry Mark 1, into the kit modules on the last episode, so I'm just doing that now, and then we can look at heading down to the Kasei system. It is quite a way, you can't actually see it on the map, but scroll down a bit. So it's all the way down here, which is quite far out from where we've been before, so it will take a while for us to get there. I will speed up time because it will take several minutes for us to get there. When you pass through certain sectors you do get voiceover, so I'll slow down for that and speed up after.
Hidden dangers lurk in space, and the threat of Klingon attack has made even the most stout-hearted reconsider their choice to travel throughout the stars. A last-ditch effort to find a common ground could end this conflict, but there are many who oppose peace.
Okay, so we are just about arriving now at the Kasei system. We have fast forwarded some of the travel time, which was about 4 minutes. That's quite a lot for some people, not enough for others, but it's semi-realistic, so I don't think it's too bad. I certainly wouldn't want it to be too much longer, but it is what it is. So the details here says a system of 7 planets orbiting a G-class star. Starships entering the system should adjust communication systems to compensate for high levels of Metreon isotopes. Federation Science Council has an archaeological research team stationed on Kasei 2 to study an extensive series of underground ruins linked to a reptilian race. They may have been a precursor to the Gorn and Saurian species, among others. Again, we're getting the name at the top, which similar to the show, it's a nice touch. So we have Elisa Flores here saying, "Sir, I am detecting Gorn ships in range of the communication array. I recommend we deal with them before we assist the damage to the array. And our option is shields up, prepare for combat." Looks like we have 3 Gorn ships to deal with here. We also have what looks like a couple of the gases and such that we can pick up. Again, if you press V, you do get that nice little pulse that shows you where they are. So I think I'll quickly pick those up first before doing the combat, if they let me get away with that. Do you like the nebula sort of cloud effects they have going on here? They've got blues and reds, which is quite nice. Okay, so that's both gases done, so that's all the gases on this map. Again, when you press V, it does point in the direction of the closest item that you can get, and it does tell you on the bottom in the chat box how many anomalies there actually are. So if you're curious if you're going to miss some, you can
Target's shield has failed.
nice broadside here on the this frigate, which will take their shields down a lot quicker. Level 1 tachyon beam, just using there to drain their shields. Really have skill at this level. Of course, without their shields, our torpedo, ooh, yeah, massive amounts of damage. So we can now scan the satellite. So it's Travell saying, Lieutenant, readings are showing that communication array has been heavily damaged by the Gorn. Continue. At this range, we should be able to contact the research station on Kasei 2, however the station is not responding to hails, and our scans are detecting signs of multiple fire on the station. So the researchers may be in trouble. Recommend we send an away team to the surface. Our options are to beam to the station, or not now, so we'll beam to the station, not the surface. We still have the same bridge officers, so we don't have anybody else that we can pick, so we'll still go with the same ones. So if this Cardassian scientist saying, help us please, and we can talk to the scientist.
The Gorn. They just stormed in and started shooting.
So the first option here, tell us what happened.
The first sign of trouble was when we lost contact with the communications array. The Gorn beamed in and started shooting. They destroyed our computer core and took thousands of artifacts we spent years collecting. Then, as if destroying decades of archaeological research weren't enough, they started setting fires.
So our only option is to go back.
The Gorn. They just stormed in and started shooting.
Next option, what are you researching here?
Captain Jean-Luc Picard and the crew of the USS Stargazer discovered ruins from an unknown civilization here almost 60 years ago. The Federation Science Council has been researching this site ever since. It's a fascinating find. There are more than 40 kilometers of catacombs under this facility. We've barely managed to explore a quarter of what we think is here.
Continue.
2 years ago, we found a star chart in the catacombs that indicated that this civilization had contact with interstellar travelers more than 15,000 years ago. The chart led us to another site on Kasei 4, where we found the most extraordinary artifacts. If we're correct, the race that once lived here may have been an advanced proto-reptilian race.
Back again.
The Gorn. They just stormed in and started shooting.
Why would the Gorn attack here?
The Gorn have extremely long memories. Thousands of years ago, the Gorn hegemony ruled this entire sector. In their minds, that means these planets are still theirs. The alliance with the Klingons has inspired the Gorn to start rebuilding their empire. Every planet, from here to Cestus 3, is in danger.
And the only option is back again.
The Gorn. They just stormed in and started shooting.
Did everyone escape the fire?
Not everyone. There are several members of our team still unaccounted for. Please, you must find them. The Gorn destroyed our automated fire suppression system in the initial attack. You will find fire suppression devices on the walls that you can use to fight the fires.
So the options we have is you'll be safe on the Exeter, I'll find your team, or not now, so we'll go for the first one.
I'm coming with you, Captain. There's too much at stake, and I know this project.
Okay, looks like we're gaining another follower. Our bridge crew came down with us this time, which is great. So let's see if we can find these fire extinguishers. So we do have a little shiny thing on the wall here, so that is the option here is to get the fire suppression equipment. There are force fields on the doors here as well, so we are going to need to find a way to deactivate the force fields to get past. And there's a console over here, which is flashing. And deactivate the containment field. Okay, so the force field has dropped, but only on the one door it seems, so we'll have to go this way and see if we can put this fire out. We don't seem to have a fire extinguisher in our inventory, so let's see if we can just, if we get close enough you get that pop up here to extinguish the fire.
The Klingon invasion was a blow to Gorn self-determination and identity.
So this is our new kit skill that we have, Rally Cry. So I'll just use that one and get these Gorn. So Wes is going off to give him a piece of his binder or something. I'm not sure why he's running off there. So I'll just grab a loot and just make sure we haven't missed anything else in this room, which looks like we haven't. So we'll keep going this way. So we do have a scientist just standing around here, so we can beam them out. And they see you saved my life. Let's see if we can find a few more. So we need to extinguish another 5 fires and rescue 2 more scientists. Looks like the bridge officers have found the Gorn before I did then. Hiding away behind the fire. There's also another scientist there saying thank you. Just look at this fire as well, actually got caught on fire there. Hopefully it didn't do too much damage to us, which is a good thing. We'll beam up the scientists. I can't thank you enough, they say. Some filled rations from the loot there as well. Doesn't seem to be anything else in this room. Nice little claxons on the wall there as well. It's quite nice. Ooh. And we have some ore as well to pick up here. We're extinguishing another fire here just to be able to get past.
These kinds of raids are the Gorn's attempt to reclaim their identity through their history.
Fire generally does tend to spread. It doesn't seem to too much here, but I might see if I can get them all. Just because, well, why not? We actually have a Gorn standing on the railing there, and a big bad Gorn as well. So I may take a little bit extra to kill him, who's launching massive boulders which he's picking up off the floor and launching them at us. That's pretty nasty. There we go again, picking that massive rock up, launching at us, which he knocks us over. This big guy is taking quite a lot more punishment than all the other Gorn that we've seen so far. Whew, I wasn't actually sure whether we were actually going to kill him or he was going to get to us first then. Nice little bit of loot there for us though.
Look at all this damage. We'd have helped if the Gorn had just asked. I guess when one of your leaders turns out to be a shapeshifter though, it damages your sense of trust.
But she's talking there about the ambassador who turned out to be the shapeshifter. That was in on our last mission. It's nice to have a bit of linking between the missions, that's cool. Must have jumped down from the higher level there to come and get us. Oh, we have another accolade as well, that's lovely. Let's just grab the loot and then we'll carry on putting the rest of these fires out. We actually have done enough for the mission to be able to pass it, but I'm just going to finish off the fires. There's only a few more left, so I'll grab the last of those and then hopefully find the research is right there. So we'll just work our way around. We're going that way anyway. Put out these fires and help that researcher. You can really see the lighting effect differences when you put a fire out, how much darker it becomes. It's a little thing, but it does make a big difference. It all helps to draw you in and get that immersion going. Oh, more shiny loot as well. Let's grab this one too. Again, nothing major in there. just consumables. I'll probably end up vending them just to get a few more energy credits, but yep, just as well pick it up. We're there anyway, and all helps later down the line. Okay, we are actually at the researcher, but there is one more fire it looks like, so I'll just put that one out first, and then I'll grab the researcher and finish the mission. So again, it's just beam scientist out. She says safe at last.
There's another research team on Kasei 4, involved in a dig at a promising site. Given what the Gorn have done here, I'd imagine that team is in trouble. Captain, we have to check on them. If the Gorn have taken over the dig site, the researchers could be captives. Or worse.
Our options are beam up and walk to Kasei 4, or not now, so we'll pick the first one. Okay, so as Flora's attempting to establish a communication link to Captain. Gorn ships detected. They're powering up weapons. Our options to continue. Okay, Flora says ships detected, and okay.
Target shields have failed.
Again, just looking to broadside here. Both phases are taking down the shields quickly. We can do a lot of damage with the torpedo as it hits directly. This is where we'll grab the gas, seeing as we're here. Interesting planet. It does seem to have rings. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's beam down. It's Travell scanning for additional hostiles. It appears the ship is safe for now, Captain. Let's continue. So she continues, I've located the dig site on the surface, sir, but there's high intensity energy field surrounding it that our sensors cannot penetrate. I can beam an away team to a location outside of the field, sir, ready to transport on your command. Our options are to beam down to Kasei 4, or not now, so we'll go.
This is the dig site that our team was working on. They set up several shield generators to help protect the most important artifacts from further damage. There's a small encampment under the shield dome. The Gorn probably came in and took over everything.
Okay, so our only option is to continue.
If we disable the shield generators, we may be able to get inside and rescue the other archaeologists. Look up. You can see the shield generator beams. We can follow those to find the controllers and turn off the system.
And again, it's just continue. So if we look up, yeah, sure enough, there's a little beam here that shows us the way. Let's just check out these Gorn.
The team here found remnants of a precursor civilization that may be a relative of the Gorn.
The option we have is to shut down the shield generator. So let's do that.
Our understanding of Gorn evolution is woeful.
Shield power is dropping! What is going on?
So again, we're getting voiceover, cutting out of
The
voiceover.
Gorn territorial claims aren't entirely without merit, but they would displace billions of people. A diplomatic solution could help to save Gorn heritage without disrupting Federation colonies.
So somebody on the floor here. We can scan the remains. So Travell says he's dead, Captain. These are gone claw marks, sir. The other hostages are in great danger. So continue. Oh, and another accolade. Nice. Looking up at the shield, looks like we need to go that way. You can actually see some Gorn on the inside there. We can't attack them or target them. We can jump through the shield either. Nope. But let's go this way and then take this one out as well. I do like the look of the planet though. Nice swampy planet. Oh, there's a gas there on the left. Behind the tree, so we'll have to come up and get that one in a minute. You can see why I prefer the photon grenades. They do make quick work of the Gorn here, particularly with the bridge officers having them as well. So we get to open this container. And again, it's just consumables. And then we can shut down the shield generator here as well.
More fluctuations! Increase the power to the shields!
So again, pressing V for Victor brings up this little tricorder scan, whether it's on the ground or in space, and it will lead you to where the anomalies are to be able to pick them up, which we'll use for crafting later down the line. So you get now is less that you need to grind out later. I did say there's 2 anomalies here, so there will be one more. But it does also point to boxes as well. I believe there was a box just inside the dome here, so yeah, it's pointing to the box. So we can't get that one until the shield is down, so we'll need to go around this way, take down the last energy tower to try and get into that one. Let's give my bridge officers here a chance to catch up. It looks like Flores is having a bit of an issue. And she comes. She was just stuck on a tree or something. This power generator does have this weird little console. Looks like it's on wheels. Almost looks like some sort of weird trolley. Doesn't seem to do anything. It's just, you know, a bit odd. We'll shut down the shield generator.
The protective shields are down! Incompetent fools!
Sound department again, really excelling themselves. The birds and stuff in the background. So again, it's just little details, but it all just helps draw you in. It really does feel much more immersive.
Want to beam up?
Okay, so at least we can now get in and get the loot.
There's no sign of the other team. The Gorn must be holding them captive elsewhere.
The option is we're too late. So it's Flores says, Sir, the Exeter has detected Gorn starships approaching from the far side of the planet. If they kidnap the archaeologists, they should be aboard those ships. The Exeter is locked onto your signal and can beam you directly to the bridge. Overwatch. So we have beam up to ship or not now. I'm going to go not now just because I want to grab the loot that's here, and then we'll see if we can get beamed up afterwards. There's nothing much here, but again, it's all worth selling later to get us some more energy credits. Something else here, so in the bottom corner,
There's no sign
go
of
back
the
on.
other team.
Again, it's the same option, so we can actually beam up to the ship this time.
You are meddling in affairs you do not understand. This system was the home of our ancestors. It belongs to the Gorn by ties of blood and conquest.
And again, it's just continue.
We will not allow grave robbers and thieves to desecrate hallowed ground without punishment. Prepare for death.
And continue again. Looking around for the ships, there is one. So again, they say there's ships coming in, and there's just the one. Not a biggie, but hey. Yes, I forgot you could actually do that. If you mouse over, keep your mouse there, it will actually show you the firing. You can do that with each of the weapons.
Target shield has failed.
It'll show you the actual firing arm. Says, Alva, this time saying, sir, we've locked onto the hostages, ready to beam them up directly to sickbay at your command. And we have the option to beam hostages aboard. The researchers have asked that we leave them here, sir. They say they want to do what they can to recover their research and assess the damage done to the ruins. Starfleet will be sending a team to assist them. We can leave the system whenever you're ready, sir. We can warp out and not now. Yeah, I'm not going to do not now, so we can get the anomalies in the system. But it's a bit confusing that we would take them off the Gorn ship. The Gorn ship is still here. You can actually still see it in the background. They're just like, hey, yeah, that's fine. Just drop us back on the planet. It's fine. It's a little bit strange. Okay, let's warp out, and then that should be the end of the mission. Ah, there's another one there I could have got. The reason I was sort of puzzled there is if we drop the scientists back off at the planet, then surely they're just going to get recaptured by the Gorn.
If the archaeological sites in the Kasei system really are from a proto-Gorn culture, we will have to weigh carefully the knowledge we gain versus what the Gorn claim to be their own history. The Federation Science Council has a lot to consider. For now, though, I'm glad the researchers are safe. Good work.
Alright, so that is the end of the mission. Get a choice between a phaser cannon Mark II or a phaser beam array Mark II. Both uncommon. I think I'll go for the phaser beam.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
Okay, so that is the end of Researcher Rescue. So I'll just have a look at what gear we got. I'm just going to sort again my inventory just to make it a little bit easier. Sort the same things together. So if we go to the Exeter, you can now see the Phaser Beam Array Mark II, which is better than the ones we have. So I'm just going to drag and drop that one in there. It says it will bind, so that's fine. We're not looking to put that on the exchange right now, so that's fine. We also have a box here which gives us a specific reward for our profession. So I'm just going to open that one. We get to choose one of these. So there's Overwatch Mark II. We have Suppressing Fire Mark II and Photon Grenade Mark II. So currently we are using a Photon Grenade Mark I. We've got a Rally Cry Mark I as well. So we could pick the Tactical one for Photon Grenade, but we've already got one, so I think the Overwatch or Suppressing Fire They're both quite good, but I think I'm going to go for the Overwatch on this one. So I've got different modules to what I have already. So just drag those ones into the kit modules, and again, it's safe. Really happy to bind it. We don't actually have a kit yet, it's just the actual modules themselves, but that's fine. We will get one later down the ways, so you don't worry about that. So that's pretty much all the things that we can do for our ship right now. So we're going to look at getting the weapons and such that we got. This is the blue one that we got from the big Gorn. Just sorting them now by DPS. I'm only really concerned with the top main primary fire button right now, so I've just sorted them just to make it a little bit easier for myself to see which ones do the most DPS. And you can see this one's actually a little bit better than the ones we're using now, so I'm just swapping that one over, and then I'm just going to work through the other bridge officers and upgrade the weapons that they've got as well. If these ones are better, which they all pretty much are going to be because they're all basic standard issue gear. So just go through those quickly. It sounds like somebody else just leveled up there, another player. You can see with this weapon that it's a disruptor rather than a phaser based. Now if you equip your bridge officers with different types of weaponry, you will find that you can get the accolades a little bit easier for ground damage. You can get this with your captain just by changing the different weapons that you have, but it's just easier to do if you equip all of your bridge officers on your landing party with different types of weapons, because you'll still get those accolades. So that's something to keep in mind as you're progressing a little bit further on. So the item I've just put in the device slot here is a fire suppression unit. It's what we picked up in the last mission. Usually it will give you a skill that you can put on the bottom bar. It's not really useful for anything, it's more just something you can play around with, so just so you know that that's there. If you want to, you can play around with that. We've not really got anything else useful here. We've got a couple of science kit modules which we can't use because we're not a science profession. So what we have left here is really just things that we can sell, so I think I will do that off camera and go on to the good, the bad and the improvements. The mission length and the pace of the mission I thought was quite good. We've had quite a lot of long missions with the tutorial, and it was nice to have a mission that was fairly quick and quite pacey. So yeah, that was a good welcome change of pace. I think there was a good mix of ground to space combat. I don't think there was too much emphasis on one rather than the other. So yeah, I was quite happy with the mix there too. I think the mission itself is mostly believable. I think you can quite easily imagine an episode of Star Trek where they've lost contact with a particular outpost and the ship is sent to find out what's going on. So I mean, there's a few bits which are done that are more for gameplay reasons, more so than for believability, so it's getting that mix right. But yeah, for the most part, I could see something like this happening in an actual episode of Star Trek. I'm going to quickly mention sound again, with the klaxons and the phaser fires. Oh, it's brilliant. It really does help pull you in. It's something which can be easily overlooked, but it does a lot to help pull you in with the immersion. So sound, fantastic. So moving on to the bad. This one may be a bit more of a personal thing. I just don't feel the researchers would have, as soon as they've been freed, they would want to instantly return to the planet with the Gorn still in the area. I mean, yes, you could say, if they're really passionate about their work, they may want to just get back and get on, given the discoveries that could potentially be given with what they think is on the planet. But would they really want to instantly go down? For me, yeah, it just doesn't sit right for me personally. But again, from a gameplay perspective, it does kind of make sense. I think there was a bit of a missed opportunity here. I think if players are going out of their way to, say, put out all the fires and such like, that's the player going out of the way to do extra that they don't have to do. And if you're rewarding that with the accolades. In fact, I'm pretty sure in the past there used to be an accolade for that one, but for some reason there's not anymore. But by taking that out in a mission so early on, you're almost giving the player the impression that doing something extra isn't going to actually reward you with anything at all. So you may find that that has a knock-on effect later on with other missions where they're going to miss out on other accolades by not going the extra mile and doing the extra to be able to get them. It's not really anything else that really stuck out for me as being overly bad. It's a fairly solid mission, so I'm going to move on to the improvements. I think it is particularly difficult to state improvements on this one because it is a fairly short mission, and it does come down to whether or not you want to come down on the side of what's more believable, or if you want to come down more on what's more fun and the gameplay aspects of that. Now, you could look at the travelling time for the mission, just getting to the destination. There was about 4 minutes worth of travelling time. Now that's fine for some people, others it's not realistic, so it's not really believable. So again, you could make it more believable, but then is it going to make it less fun in the process? So it's a balancing act there. So it's difficult to really say how that would be improved. It's really down to personal taste. I think what they've done is somewhere in the middle. It's not massively long to be able to travel for 4 minutes, but it's not overly unbelievable either. So yeah, that is very difficult to suggest an improvement there. The accolades system, as I've mentioned with the bad, could have been improved upon, because then it would have helped players a little bit more and give them more of a reason to go the extra mile. The dialogue could be tweaked a little bit as well, just so it says ship rather than ships are incoming to attack you, because you're expecting more than one, and then you're only getting one ship. And lastly, just the loot placement. It would have been better for the flow of the mission if the loot was arranged in such a way that you didn't have to close down any of the pop-ups, so you could just grab your loot beforehand and then have your pop-up and continue on with the mission, so it just flows that little bit better. But what do you think? Do you think the game should be coming down more on the believability side, or focusing more on the fun gameplay aspects? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.